Hello, this is Daniel with Joe's Gaming Electronics. In today's video, I'll be showing you how to take apart your JBL Pulse 2 speaker. This video will be included with a video of how to repair your charger port if it's broken. To start the taking apart process, you first need to remove these rings that JBL has installed on the speaker. They have two rings, one on each side. You do this by grabbing your small flathead screwdriver and sort of pick at the rubber right at the seam between where the plastic ends and the rubber starts. At this point, once you have made a space there, the rubber should come off pretty easily, but if it does get stuck, you can assist with the small screwdriver. Just like that, the rubber piece would come off. Make sure you don't rip it or break it, because that will not make the speaker as waterproof as it should be. Once you have this opened up like this, there's 4 screws that you need to take off in order to lift this plastic piece out. Once you have this side taken off, you can start on the other side by doing pretty much the same thing as you did to the other side. Again, you have about 4 screws that lift up the plastic piece. Once you have removed the plastic parts of both sides of the speaker, there's again about 4 other screws on each side, which remove sort of the spine rubber that this speaker is held by. Start by removing them on both sides. Once you have those 4 screws removed, you can just lift this off like this. The rest of it is all on tape, so you can just remove this like this and it should be fine. Yeah, once you have taken apart those 4 other screws, you can lift this up like this by just picking at it like that. You get your rubber spine, which we do sell on our website. If this ever tears or gets discolored, we do have those parts in stock. Once you get to this part, you can tell that there's 4 other screws to hold down the button board with the camera, sort of a light sensor where you can click this button right here and it could pretty much take the color that you have the camera pointed at and reflect it into the lights of the speaker. That's one of the unique parts of the speaker that JBL has came up with. Once you have unscrewed these four screws, you can pick them out like this, and afterwards you're able to lift this board up and get access to the button board that lays underneath. Once you get that, carefully lift this up. Once you have that there, you're able to unstick this flat wire sort of, and pick at this camera at an angle in order to take it off. So as you can tell, there's a bunch JBL has used hot glue to secure this camera. Gently pick at the hot glue to not rip off the points and take it off like this. Once you have that there, you're able to pluck the camera out of its socket like that. Once you have this, you can set it aside and pick off the rest of the hot glue that the JBL has used to secure the camera. Once you have this, you can easily pick out the button board, and on this clip just slide it backwards just like this to unsecure the wire. and it should come off just like that. Once you have that there, you can take off the camera by doing the same exact thing you did to the button board, by just unclipping this like this. This should slide out just like that. Once you have that taken off, you can easily unscrew these 4 screws that the shell is held by, and you can remove the shell after that. If this shell ever gets dented, you guys drop your speaker or anything, we do have this part singularly provided on our website. You can just remove that by pressing in the wires in order to slide them through the little hole that is made here. Just slide this off like this, and you have your shell. It's a plastic shell that sort of disperses the light from these LEDs that we have here. Once you have this in this position, you're able to remove these 4 screws to open up the battery hatch where the battery is located at. Remove the first row of LEDs to reveal the clips of the button cover, just like that. Afterwards, you can either remove the screws or you can remove the first row of the LEDs. It doesn't matter. Once you remove the 4 screws, there is 3 on each side. These clips, these are very fragile clips. They break about 90% of the time, so don't be very worried if you break them, because there is 4 screws that actually hold down and tighten down the whole battery hatch. You pick at them like this from an angle, just loosen them up. Don't push all the way through, just a little bit, just to make the clip go above the clipping mechanism. After you unclip those, here comes the hard part where the whole thing is actually sealed on glue, and it takes quite a bit of effort to actually remove the whole battery cover. Insert your pry tool into the crack between the battery cover and the speaker shell right here to lift this up a little bit. You can do this to the other side to loosen up the adhesive bondage. At this stage, be very careful not to puncture your battery, which lays right here. If you do, it will explode. Once you have removed this, just push it off like this and lift it up. The wire should slide through the hole fairly easily. Once you're at this point, you could tell that your battery's right here and your charger port. In the next video that I'll be showing you, we will show you the technical specs of how to remove this charger port and how to replace it. We do sell all of the parts to repair the speaker on our website.